So let's talk about episode 4 first, right? Let's talk about it first. Like, so, and long story short, because I know we don't have that much time, and I really want to give us a chunk of time to Shang-Chi. Episode 4 was a Strange Supreme episode. It was set up to where they Rachel and Doctor Strange were in a relationship. She ends up dying no matter what he does, right? And that's what really was sticking to me about this episode, was just the fact that, like, man, the way they made it so she kept dying, but it drove Strange to use his powers for evil and use actually the pages of Cagliostro that had the most powerful like spells on it that he was going against in the movie. He actually turned to that, to the point to where he was just all powerful, absorbing other creatures. The animation looked amazing on some of these creatures. It looked crazy. I was like, man, it's like they're using completely different animation techniques to, give these monsters different effects. And you can see it takes an effect on him overall, as well as finding out that, they make it a singular point, or I think that's what it was called, like a point that was, you couldn't go past it. It was a point that couldn't be changed no matter what. And them just kind of setting the tone for like how heartbreaking it is, and it sends Doctor Strange down this path to the point where he's literally stealing demonic creatures. And once again, this tentacle monster shows up. That I'm definitely just calling Shumagarath right now. Like, I feel
My first thought.
right, like consistently coming back. I feel like it's Shumagarath, but absorbs all these creatures to get this power to go back and save her, even though what's her name? The ancient one. Man, I was about to just say Tilda Swinton. But the ancient one kind of warns him that if you do this, like, you can't actually, you're not supposed to be able to do this. And we don't find out till later.
What's that about? Like, why? Like, what? So they can go back and steal time stones, but he can't save his girlfriend. But like, is this the one timeline thing again? Is this her?
It was an absolute event, so it had to happen.
Yeah, it was like an absolute point.
That's weird to me.
But that's kind of my gripe with the episode. But I'll wait.
Okay. I'll wait too then.
Yeah, we can get there. So it comes to the point where the ancient one like warns him what would happen. She says that what we find out later is that she split his personality or his mind, so there can be two Doctor Stranges in one timeline. Apparently, this other one was so obsessed with like saving her that he goes down the wrong path, obviously, and becomes the big bad guy, so much to the point to where he's erasing existence because he's trying to bring her back to life, and ends up becoming like this freakish thing by the end of it. But it gets crazy because you can just see the world kind of like cascading on itself, and just the animation of people just kind of getting erased from existence was kind of freaky to me anyways. But yeah, that's essentially where it ended after the Watcher comes in and lets him know, it's like, yo, this guy wouldn't even listen anyway. And he was like, yo, help me. Like, help me stop this from happening. He was like, nah, man, you did this to yourself. You set yourself up for this. And this is the most you see of the Watcher throughout the entire, like, What If series. So it was really cool to see him kind of directly interact with him and let him know how wrong he was before ultimately letting him just destroy his own universe and get stuck in, this pocket, like cell of time, like whatever the hell that was, like a crystallization cocoon, whatever thing. But that's essentially where it ends. Like, and personally, I didn't have a problem with the episode. I just thought it was fucking crazy to me that it got that deep to what the animation and the way that they depicted the world just going to hell and just literally melting away, and like that kind of eraser effect that they're putting on people, and just him. And then the other Strange coming back and trying to like talk himself out of it, and just having that other mind about it. But ultimately, I like the episode. But I feel like we have two completely different opinions. I ain't gonna say two different opinions, but you guys have two different opinions about that.
One thing I will say is I thought the dusting was terrifying, but the universe like just going to black was absolutely terrifying.
That was fucking terrifying, bro. I thought I was tripping because you saw the edges of the screen creeping up like at certain points, and I'm like, yo, what the hell? And it's like it's narrowing its point the whole time you're watching it, and I'm like, oh my god. And even him trying to hold back, and he was like, please help me. Like I was like, bro, like what? Like
Yeah, that was very good. I think that's what made the episode good to me was that like the actual like ending of it. Like he destroyed his universe, and like that's a really huge concept to tackle, and he totally did and survived. I'm pretty sure he survived, but that was the part that made me like the episode.
You guys heard the term eldritch, like eldritch horror? Have you heard that before?
Hmm.
So that's real much what really what this was, right? Like the end of the world, that existentialism, like the threat of nothingness, and then
Yeah.
this thing that's so grand and crazy that it makes you go insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this was. I hope this is a taste of what the next Doctor Strange movie is going to be about.
Well, I think that the dope thing about the series is I think I'm kind of seeing it as the episodes progress is that there is going to be a payoff. Like these aren't just ending stories. Like we're going to see Strange Supreme again, for sure.
Oh damn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because some of the I mean trailers give up shit and
Yep.
but there's scenes in the initial trailers that had everybody in it. So there's more than likely we're gonna see Captain Carter again.
Right. They still kind of set up some kind of like Avengers team up overlap thing. They've already kind of set that up, so that makes sense. So okay, but ultimately, like I said, I like the episode. It has some really dope visuals. We're going to see Strange Supreme again, and they brought back they really brought back all the voice talent from Doctor Strange at this point. Everybody in here voiced themselves.
That's the pretty impressive part about all these shows is that every episode is star-studded as fuck, and even the people who aren't the stars, they do a really good job of blending in like they are.
Bro, Jeffrey Wright's dialogue in this scene with Doctor Strange, Benedict Cumberbatch, bro, that shit was I was like, jaw in awe, like, oh my god, like, and this is them working together, like, just the like you said, the power overlap of like talent on the screen at one time doing their first interactions, like, this is fucking good, like,
Dude, I lost my shit when Thanos spoke, and it was Josh Brolin. I lost
yeah. So
my problem with this episode, because I know we're about to get off of it, is just the connection between him and Christine was never there in the movies. I never felt it.
okay.
That's her name, right? Oh no, yeah, Christine. I never felt the connection. So like her being there, like all the What If episodes, they anchor in on like one thing changes, right? Like one point. What if this happens? Like what if Peggy Carter decides not to go into the booth,
right,
for safety, which happened in the movie.
and drop those hot bars. No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
Right. What if T'Challa, what if Yondu sends them they go to pick up the wrong kid with the alien signature? That's the second episode. But for this episode, there was no like, what if this happened differently? It was just, boom, they're in the car going together, and they never were.
Right.
Like, I never got the connection, and plus, even in the show, in the movies, I never felt that he loved her like that. Like he couldn't live without her type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like
right.
Iron Man and Pepper Potts, I get it. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
If it was Peter Parker and MJ, I get it. But like with them, they didn't seem like they were even like that serious together, you know?
But they kind of pushed it at the end, right? Like towards the end, because he went on his way and she legit was still like there supporting him, like when he was like going through all that stuff. And then they came back and you can kind of still see it like bubbling, right? It was still simmering. So it's like, I get that wasn't a problem for me. I feel like in some timeline it happened sooner, right? Like they actually just got together, and because there wasn't an accident that made him hurt his hands, right? He didn't lose his hands. He lost a potential love interest, right? So there was a part of that was attached to his own kind of hubris of being like, well, you know what? Like there's nothing there to check him. He literally just thought he can do whatever he wanted. He was like, fuck it, I'm gonna just keep going, like, and then they were like, bro, you might be going, no, it's cool, I got it, like, it's fine, I'm gonna keep going. Like, that seems like an unchecked Doctor Strange thing to do, right? But that's just me, though.
In defense of myself right now, because Jamal Settle in the chat is like, they had a connection. Yeah, they had a connection, for sure, right? Buddies, right? Like, nothing it was not romanticized at all to the point where he's gonna end the universe for her.
Sure.
Right,
Yo, like
right.
he ended the universe for this chick, bro. Like they did not have that connection.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was the writing. Maybe it was the act of sort of like obsession, where he's like, you know, I'm gonna try to save my friend, and then all of a sudden it becomes so important that that it like snowballed out of control.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange lost his heart instead of his hands.
That's what they
his
say.
Heart. She's his art now.
I mean,
What Doctor Strange movie did I miss?
I don't know. Like, I guess the angle, yeah. I feel like it is still like a hard left, but I think they're just saying like the character's time. But I hear you though. It is a bit of a reach to say this is the heart of Doctor Strange. I understand that.
I feel like every one of the episodes could be like, okay, I can see that, but that one just seems like the reach, which it should have been the most normal one, but it still felt like a reach. And even episode 3, for real, the end of it being, Hank Pym going crazy, I kind of thought that was a reach too.
I don't know about that, bro. If on some comic, like going back to some comic roots shit, that makes sense. Like that's
Ant-Man's the bottom of my reading list. So
yeah. Like that make Hank Pym. Like one of the reasons I felt like they did that in the MCU with Hank Pym is because his character is not the easiest, right? He like there's timelines of him like actually like abusing his wife. Like it's not.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it's like, yeah, and he literally is not one of those characters, right? So it's like they kind of wrote him in that sense anyway, but not making him the main character, kind of like you can gray all that out, right? And then you have the redeemable, Scott Lang Ant-Man instead, and now you have him in a mentor role to be like, hey, don't do what I did, and drive the people you love away, but I can still be a hard ass in the meantime. So like when he was like, yo man, he was actually Yellow Jacket, I was like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense to me. So
Give that one up, but I'm not giving up this Doctor Strange.
yo, you can have it, bro. I got my don't shoot me, bro. I'm saying, look, I get you. I feel you. Once that happened, I get it because, like you said, there really is no hard. That's a hard pivot to say that this character is this character's heart, right? I felt like more conscious would have made more sense. Like, what if he lost his conscious, right? Like, yeah. Right? Like, if he was like, yo, I don't give a fuck, I'm Doctor Strange, badass guy. That makes sense, right? If she wasn't there to check him, I could see that, right? But maybe they're alluding to more, right? Maybe that's what their aim is. I mean, I see the connection personally, but am I finna end the universe for her? I don't know.
Like I said, it probably a snowball effect, and then maybe like ingesting all that magic made it even crazier.
True.
Oh yeah, once you tap into that dark energy like that, of course.
Bro, like, you already knew he was going.
It's like not a problem.
Bro, he had the bags under his eyes and everything, bro. It wasn't no coming back. Once you get the evil guy bags under your eyes, bro, you gone, bro. That's Sith. You might as well have the red eyes. You might as well be Sith, bro. Like, bro, you okay? I'm fine, bro. You don't look fine.
All right, so I gotta ask you, how strong is a Titan without any Infinity Stones?
It depends. If you're the son of a Celestial, then maybe you're pretty strong. Or son of Eternal, you're probably pretty strong.
Okay, because people are complaining like Thanos is kind of a bitch in the Star-Lord episode.
I still think he would have won the fight ultimately, but he is going up against like two of the most badass fucking.
Oh, you talking about the Black Order fight?
Yeah.
Bro, they already said he would have got smoked. Like, it's already known that Thanos would have got smoked. He's like no power. Like,
I saw arguing about that, just didn't.
Yeah, they didn't know. Like, straight up, like, he would have got smoked. Like, he's good, but he not like, you know what I'm saying? Like, part of that is like him having the Infinity Gauntlet, bro. So, but literally they came out and said, they was like, no, he was definitely going to lose that fight. So wait, what about episode 5? Before we pivot and go full blown Shang-Chi, what about episode 5, the zombie episode? What were you guys' thoughts on it? Real quick.
I mean, I already stated before Tech got here. Pretty bored.
Yeah.
Pretty linear. I just didn't get much out of it. It was just sort of, and then there's like too many jokes. It was so jokey all the time, with the headless Ant-Man and all that stuff, and Happy saying like "pow" or something. I don't know. It's just
bang bang.
I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't get anything out of it. It just didn't, and it sort of just kind of ended. with zombie Thanos.
That's the thing though. Like that's the thing. It's a cliffhanger, bro. Like
Yeah.
we may see zombie Thanos again.
Hmm. I mean, that was
And the
the most
reason why
frustrating part. But then it ended. I'm like, what? Okay.
the reason why I liked it so much is because I love the Marvel zombies. But I think I liked it because the pacing of it, the characters in it, I didn't expect. I didn't expect all those characters to be in it.
Right.
Um,
Same.
I do see what you're saying about the jokey part, but as far as like, it terrified me to think of superheroes with powers, like like superhero zombies with powers. Like that's kind of
That is worst case
terrifying.
scenario, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's actually messed up. Like that's
And
legit messed up.
I tapped into my inner like horror movie fan, and I'm just sitting there. As soon as what's her name, Hope, went down, I was like, she should have went smaller first.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, bro, why would you stay big? Like what?
Okay, Okay, so let's say the fabric is a quarter of an inch, or 20 millimeters or something, right? Let's say the fabric on the suit is X, and then you blow that up times 10, including the glass on the eyes. Like, how strong are these people zombies that they're busting through the eyepieces and biting through? I mean, I know she already had the cut in her arm, so it's just.
But she shouldn't have had the cut. If the suit can expand to 100,000 times the size, then it shouldn't have ripped.
Yeah.
But
Damn, you calling faulty you calling faulty hardware on the suit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, something's not right.
I thought the episode
Flag
was
on the
funny.
plate. We need to check that suit.
The whole episode just felt sort of ham-fisted. It's just sort of like things happen with no rhyme or reason. It's like this happened. And then
But
this
yeah, I think you
happened,
just
and then
have
this
to
happened.
know. You kind of have to know the basic rules. Every zombie movie and TV show, you have to lay down the basic rules, and I don't think they lay down the rules enough. If you didn't know about the rules in the comic books,
Yeah. And then Vision's mind changed so quickly. He's like, I trapped you all here for Wanda, and then as soon as Wanda breaks loose, he's like, yeah, fuck Wanda.
You're right.
Like, what?
You know what? You're right.
this episode birthed my problem with Vision. Like I want Vision to be more like Data from Star Trek and less emotional.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
Yep,
he's
yep.
so
Everything, all logic.
human. Like he's chopping up T'Challa to feed to Wanda. I don't know if an android makes that decision. Like I don't know if an android makes that decision ever.
I mean, I know that actually happened with T'Challa in the comics. I just can't remember who was actually chopping him up though. It was Pym.
Like he wanted to, because they ran out of food because they're superheroes and they can get anyone they want to. So they took over the world in like 24 hours and they ate everyone. So there's no more fresh meat. But Hank Pym was smart enough to like keep T'Challa in his lab so he can eat on him.
Damn. Yeah.
It's pretty fucked.
It's actually fucked up.
Yeah, and he didn't die.
Oh my god. Yeah, even I know even he survived in didn't he survive in the comics too? Like he survived.
Yeah.
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 So.
He took I forgot whose head it was, but he ran off with what is her name? Janet, I guess. I don't know who the name in the comic book. It's either Janet or Hope in the comic book, but he took her head and because her head was still alive, and kind of saved the day, saved his life by running off with her.
Kirkman and heads in jars.
Oh, he loves that shit.
You watch too much Futurama, I think.
I was about to say this. That's what I thought of instantly. I was like, oh, this is definitely like a Futurama kick, right? Like, so, but no, I thought it was okay overall. I really do think that they did go to the next level with they gave us like the zombie land, like surviving apocalypse, zombie apocalypse with Peter Parker. Also, in this episode, it was the first time they bring up Uncle Ben as a actual MCU person. So, and as soon as I heard that, I was like, oh shit. Well, at least they acknowledged that he is an MCU entity. There is a story to Uncle Ben. But overall, no, I thought it was pretty cool though. I thought it was a pretty cool episode. I also like the fact that we could potentially get a part 2 to this.
Setting up season 2, I wonder.
I'm sure they are. They would be dumb not to, because this is where they can be creative and like create new stories and
sky's the limit.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So I'm fast forwarding through all the pictures I had just to show these guys, give them something to look at. But are we all in agreement that Shang-Chi was actually godlike? I wanted to leave with that one because I would love to know. I would love to know a differing argument.
I think the third act is absolutely godlike. That was that's whoever made Dragon Ball needs to watch that. Whoever made that live action Dragon Ball needs to watch that and see where they fucked up, because that was the most Dragon Ball shit I've ever seen.
Bro,
I mean, it's anime on screen, right next to the dragon, riding dragons, good clean martial arts. Like, man, that's great. It was really great. I think as a whole, I think the movie's really good. I would not. I don't think the whole movie's godlike. I think it sort of starts to lull a little bit in the middle, and I think I was talking to Tech. I don't remember who I was talking to, but like Aquafina felt like force injected the whole movie to me.
really? I feel like I've seen her force injected. This was not force injected. I felt like she was the proper what the fuck voice a lot of the times. Like and a good friend.
She's supposed to be awkward because it felt awkward to me most of the time. Was she supposed to be awkward?
I felt like sometimes she was meant to be awkward. I think that's where she kind of like pops the most anyway. Even with her whole, hey man, my defense was singing Hotel California. I'm like, man, that's awkward, you know? Like that throw me off.
That's kind of funny though, dude.
Right? That's why I'm like, that throw me off.
I like that part.
She was a good comic relief character.
See,
Comic
yeah.
relief.
Yeah.
She's the heart and comic relief of the movie, and I liked it.
He's the one that shot the throat with the arrow, like her.
Yeah.
That's some Destiny shit. Like what is
But
that?
why not though? But like
I
she like
guess.
had to find her purpose. Like that actual like point with the conversation she had with the other lady about finding your direction.
Oh,
and like
yeah, what a great
I thought it was
quote.
a dope tie-in.
What a great quote. It was if you aim for nothing, you hit nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it was dope. I thought that was dope. I actually don't know too much about Aquafina, but I liked her role in this. This is the first time I've seen her, so.
So I saw her in Crazy Rich Asians. That was my first intro to her. Very campy character that she was playing, but like she plays the Aqua character very well. Like she plays that kind of, and on top of that, like the fact that they were just friends, they were just homies. I actually do like that too.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Pretty awesome. For sure.
But
I'd watch it again.
I actually
Watch it again. I dropped the ball by not watching it again in theaters.
I actually really want to see it. I actually really want to see it again in theaters. Man, that movie was sick. I mean, just I thought that the fight scenes would get no better than Captain America Winter Soldier, and I was wrong. Cause like you get these bursts of it in there, and it's like these drama filled fights. But in this, it was different. Every fight built up, like even grander scale. Like in every major scene, like having like these big fights in it that all like went up. Like I thought I had saw the most of the bus fight scene, like through the I'm like, all right, this is gonna be pretty typical. But even seeing it, and I was like, oh damn, they really fleshed this out. I'm thinking I'm gonna see like a 2-3 minute scene. That was like an 8-10 minute scene. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, oh man, that was god. Like the way that they, and then like the second fight when they were on the building. Man, that fight when they were in the building, it had the skylight and the neon sign behind it, and you can only see the silhouettes, but that was coming from like them on the outside, kind of, I guess, the bamboo like ladder thing, bro. That shit was crazy to me. So,
I agree.
Yeah.
I was impressed by I like the pacing of it, right? I know Ben said you got lulls in the middle. I didn't see that. I was entertained the entire time. But what got me was Ben Kingsley.
coming back.
It came out of nowhere.
I was so happy that not only was he there, but he was actually in the movie for a lot of it. And like they kind of, to me, fixed a lot of what I had a problem with Iron Man 3, right? I'm glad they addressed it, at least. You know what I mean? Like it made me feel better. Yeah.
Yeah, he was a poser and he got punished for it.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, he was great. Little furry thing was a little silly, but you gotta get something on the store shelves at Target.
Yeah, that's the Grogu. I felt that way with Grogu. I know like people love Grogu, but I felt like the same way with Alligator Loki.
Yeah,
You know, I'm a Funko like fanatic, and people they keep selling out of this alligator Loki, and it's just all a gimmick. So I'm not into it. But I was gonna say something. I lost it. Oh, I like the scene in which is it Shang-Chi's father meets the mother and they're fighting, but like they like only through looking you can see that they actually like start like looking at each other in that way. I thought that
Yeah.
was really dope cinematography.
Oh
Like
yeah.
telling a story without telling a story.
That was one of the selling points I feel like for the movie overall. Was just they use like all these different ways of like telling the story, and it was very based like in the culture of like how they tell films, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and all those kinds of films. I forgot what it's a specific.
Really felt like that.
Oh yeah,
Really
like,
did.
and I forgot what it's called by name, but it's an actual like different way. They have a whole kind of film genre of it, and the fact that they were able to incorporate this into the movie and it fit like so naturally. Like I bought every second of this shit. Like it'd be like there was no time where I checked out and was like, man, get the fuck out of here, right? Because I know when they showed all like the weird looking animals, they was like, and they went and like they was like, oh man, these are rare creatures from like mythology. Like that shit was sick to me. Like
That thing is the
That big
Hundun.
tiger dog. Yeah, the big tiger dog thing that we see on all the Chinese restaurants. Like,
yeah, like
you see it moving, you're like, oh shit.
yeah, right. Like I was like, damn, that's actually sick, right? And it was so many things that I felt like that like went right with this movie. It definitely impressed me. I was expecting it to be Marvel good, but it definitely exceeded those expectations. And then they paid homage to so many different things, man. Like everybody kept talking about how the end scene had like the Dragon Ball feel. To me, it was more like Kung Fu Hustle, like mixture Dragon Ball feel to me. Like the even like down to the last hit. But just even the extra shit on the fights with them using the rings to fight and how they eventually went to one side. The way to do Win Woo used them as weapons overall and had them switching back and forth. I was like, bro, I don't know whose idea it was to do this, but they deserve a raise. Cause that shit, everything about this movie was just sick to me though.
Yeah. Yeah, it felt super authentic.
You know, I think I come from a place of ignorance because I don't know the lore. Like, I don't know like the inspirations behind it. And with like something like Black Panther, I do. So I left the theater feeling like I hope this impacts who it's intended to impact, like Black Panther did for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We see a faceless little furry animal. We have no idea that like it's what the inspiration is. And Jamal in the chat said it's a myth actually based on a creature, and it actually is based off of Hundun, the Chinese god of chaos. See those little things like that.
Yeah.
I love those
Yeah.
details that are actually culturally accurate.
Yeah.
You know.
Same. It's so much that they put into it. Like it just felt so rich with all these details that like fit side by side. Like I don't know how to say it otherwise than it fits so well together. Like the pace, like I said, the pacing for me was perfect. Like even like Shang-Chi's like character development, like from him being upset, like it took a lot longer for him to get to the point of like forgiving his father than I thought he would, right? Like my man had to die. Like he's like, bro, he's like every time he doubled down, he's like, bro, I gotta kill him, I gotta train him, I gotta do what he trained me to do. I was like, damn, my man's really holding on to this killing his dad. And then he didn't even end up doing it, which is even, I was like, damn, but my man went to the extent of understanding that he might have to off his dad. I respect that. Like the fact that this character's development went kind of to the left and still had this family tied to it. Like the fact that it was all about him fighting his dad and like being a part of this family on his mother's side and understanding that like it wasn't like solely on him. Like it hit like a lot of different notes that I was not expecting it to hit, is what I'm saying.
That scene where he like realized he had to kill his dad and he told Aquafina about that was a great scene.
Mm-hmm.
That was super heavy, man. That was his strongest acting part in the whole movie, I think.
Also, can we talk about motherfucking Tony Leong? Bro, this dude legit blew me the fuck away. Like, and I've seen movies with him before, right? I didn't know that, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't know he was in some of the movies that I had seen, but now that I know that, he was in what was it, Fist of Legend, if I'm not mistaken, with Jet Li.
Really?
Yeah, like, so I'm thinking that I'd never even seen this guy before, but he's legendary actor. And even just the weight that he brought to being Win Woo, like to being Shang-Chi's father, bro, just the way he even talked to other people when he's like, careful how you talk to me, boy. I was like, oh, I felt that. When he told him that, and he's like, he looked into the camera. He's like, yo, you better be careful. And then he told another old dude, he's like, yo, you better be careful how you talk to your elders. I was like, come on, dog. Like, to the old man with gray hair. Like, the fact that line had that much weight, it was really good. Like, I have to applaud, like, Tony Leong just in that role himself. And Marvel delivers on another villain that, like, you actually give a fuck about leaving the, like, cinema.
Yeah.
Like,
I understood his motivations completely.
Oh my god, and Michelle Yeoh,
bruh, right?
like the fact that our boy got to be in a movie, but yet alone like spar with or whatever with Michelle Yeoh. Talk about legendary, right? Like, man, that I don't know that.
That's true. Shout out to Michelle Yeoh as well, bro.
Right.
For real, for real. But that's what I mean, man. The movie felt like it was authentic in like so many different parts. Like it just felt like a well put together film. And even if you know, saying not saying you have to, but like just remove the cultural influences from it, it's still like very rich in the sense of like having like great actors doing like fits their role very, very well. Like it just felt like a good movie all the way around for me. And like you said, man, I really do hope that like this affects the culture, the whole Asian culture, exactly how Black Panther affected our culture, like for real, because
got Chinese are all over the country because this movie still doesn't have a release date in China.
yeah, that fucking sucks. This movie definitely does not have a release date in China.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
It's real crazy.
So
yeah, Tony was in Infernal Affairs, which is a fucking amazing movie. And if you guys watched the American remake, what was that called? The Jack Nicholson. Damn. It's one of the best. It's the best movie or something like that. What was it? Leonardo DiCaprio.
The Departed.
The Departed was a American remake of Infernal.
Oh shit, I didn't know that, but I heard about it. I'm about to look into that.
It's so good, but he's the co-star of that. So
Okay, so we're getting to our limit on time, gentlemen. But I have two more things to ask, and y'all can fit it in if y'all can, and we can cut it if need be. But what do you guys think is coming? What do you think? This is full-blown spoilers for those listening who don't want this part. But who do you think these rings are summoning? Who do you think those are for?
Oh yeah, dude. They're not from Earth. That's crazy.
They're not from Earth.
Yeah, that melted my brain. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know either.
So
It would be nice if I don't know. Maybe
Did
I don't know.
Eternals tie in?
Maybe Eternals tie-in. That's what my mind drifted to immediately was maybe the Eternals tie-in.
No. So look, just to clear it up, it can't. So the original release date for Shang-Chi was before Eternals. So canonically, I'm pretty sure it goes Endgame, Eternals, Shang-Chi. Because if you notice, well, I ain't gonna say it was because if you notice, but you see that Banner's arm is still the same, and also that it's actually just Banner. It's not like, so that's a big deal. But no, I really think that canonically it's Shang-Chi is the most recent movie outside of Eternals because of the way they reference Endgame. They reference Endgame like, oh, this happened this many months ago, and like the way they reference it. So, but I could be wrong. So,
Well, you know me, man. All my answers to that question, what's coming, is like, oh. I feel the dumbest when it comes to these like, what's coming questions.
Okay.
No idea.
I mean, my mind could
put everything on its head.
I'm gonna put a seed in. I'm gonna put a seed in you guys' head right now.
don't say Galactus, nothing like that.
Why? Wait, what? Why not? That was what I was about to say. What the fuck? But listen. You know what I think? I think it's actually summoning the Silver Surfer, who in by turn summons Galactus.
Nice.
That's what I think. Because and I feel like it'd be perfect because we're getting the Fantastic Four. I feel like we're at least getting them in the next 10 years, right? Like,
Yeah, probably.
so how could this not be the big payoff? Because this isn't like the next movie level threat. Like they called in the event, they welcomed him to the Avengers. They was like, oh no, Wong was like, oh, this shit is actually crazy. Hope y'all ready. And then even Banner was like, yo, I hope you ready. And the fact that Captain Marvel was there was like, oh, this shit ain't even like some space. Like, I don't know what the fuck this is. When she said that, I was like, oh shit. Like
Yeah.
that put a lot of weight to it, and that drives the important. That drives home the importance of Shang-Chi as well.
Do you think this could possibly tie into some multiverse? Because I mean, we know that's the plate. That's what's on our plate in front of us.
Sure.
Is it possible that it could somehow, some way point to that?
I don't think. You know what's funny? I don't think so. I don't think it's a multiversal thing. And if it is, it may be about somebody traversing said multiverse thing. And I'm still pointing at like somebody like Galactus or fucking Silver Surfer. So maybe not. But I don't know. Like if they said it's not from Earth. So I feel like it has to have some extraterrestrial meaning, right? It has to be alien. So it could be, but I feel like this is the next big Avengers piece. Like we are getting the Infinity Stones last time. I think this is one of the pieces that points to what the next coming instance of fighting is gonna be. The big guy, not like even like Kang. I think this is past Kang the Conqueror, actually. Yeah. That's just me though, that's just me though. There were a lot of Easter eggs in this movie that I would love to get to, but like I said, I know we kind of clipped on the time. So let's just say out of 10, and would you see it again, what would you give Shang-Chi? We'll start with Ben.
I'll give it a solid 8. It sort of lost me when it got to the fantasy place. Like that's where it sort of slowed down. As beautiful as it was, and I loved all the mystical creatures, and that's how the beautiful finale wrapped up. I think the story took a little bit of a pace dive there, which I understand. You have to take a pace dive to set some story beats, to set some emotion in there, right? I get all that, and that's where Awkwafina found her voice, or whatever. But beyond that, I think everything about the movie was great. I feel like I can't say a whole lot because I only saw it once. I definitely need to see it again. So that 8 could very well get bumped up. I'll give it a realistic 9. I could easily say this could be a 9 for me if I watched it again.
Right. I feel you on that.
I could have been working and thinking about work. I could have, all those different things. Reason to watch a movie more than once.
All right, Tech, let's hear it.
All right. This entered my top 10 for sure.
Okay.
MCU movies.
Okay.
It reached the top 10. I don't know. I have to watch it multiple times to know if it's going to be top 5. It's highly possible. I'm going to give it I'm going to piggyback off of Ben on this one and give it an 8 with a possible 9 with multiple viewings. It's pretty flawless.
So I feel like this is definitely, for me, like kind of a home run intro character movie to me. Like, this definitely hits every note. Like, as much as I love, like, almost any one of the other movies, only because it had so many strings that it could have been its own individual thing by the end of it. Like if you took out the Leong cameo and all, like it could just be its own thing, and it would still be like a standalone film that I would thoroughly enjoy. Like let's just say this happened in some not Marvel, Sony backlot property deal where they had to make a movie. I'd be like, damn, looks like they're gonna be keeping the rights to make this movie for quite some time if they keep making this movie, But I'm right there with you guys. Like I'm right there at like I say 8.5, maybe 9. You know what I'm saying? Because I've only seen it once too, and it's probably gonna go right up to a 9 at that point, right? So I feel like I'm at like an 8.5, and I'm still talking about this movie that I've seen once. Typically, I would have seen it like twice by now, but COVID era time stuff, and I ain't trying to push my luck. So yeah, probably about an 8.5. And once I see it a second time, I'm probably on right there with you guys. Probably gonna be like a solid 9.
Yeah, it's the best cinematic thing that we've gotten since Endgame from Marvel, including Spider-Man, I think.
Oh really? I don't know about all that. I'll probably say they're on par though. I'd say they're on par.
I have so many complaints with Far From Home or Homecoming or whatever. What's it called? Far From Home?
Really? You got problems with Far From Home?
Absolutely, dude.
What was Eric the Viking? I completely agree. It's just a dope kung fu flick, bro. Like that's why I say outside of anything, I'm literally just like, bro, I just watched this movie.
Yeah, I might let y'all keep talking about it, especially if you're gonna start talking about Spider-Man. But my client just showed up.
Go ahead. Yo, take care and thank you guys.
Until next time.
No, we'll definitely make it so we're a little tighter with this. I appreciate you guys for coming through regardless. Yo, chat, can y'all make some noise for the homies coming through? Make sure y'all give them a follow. At SketchSawyer, at Tech Supreme, both of them are the homies, and they always take their time. I appreciate y'all, man. Be good.